What's going on? My name is Reginald Cuthbert. Most people call me Mr. C, but this will be a Toolbox Tutors Math Session. Today, we'll be discussing how to solve linear systems using the graphing method, but we'll solve these 3 examples using the graphing method. And by the end of this video, I'll show you step by step how to solve these linear systems using the graphing method. Let's get started. Some important tools of reference you'll need while solving linear systems using the graphing method is understanding how to graph a linear function in slope-intercept form, how to convert a linear function from standard to slope-intercept form, and also how to identify a single point on the coordinate plane. If you understand these 3 things, then you can solve a system using the graphing method. Let's go. So for this example, we'll be finding a solution to y equals 3x minus 3 and y equals 1/2 x plus 2. We'll begin with this first linear function, y equals 3x minus 3. Here we need to identify the y-intercept first. Since this is already in slope-intercept form, this one should be pretty easy to graph. So our y-intercept is -3, and as a point, it would be 0, -3. So we'll plot this point here first, 0, -3. From here, our slope would be 3. To find the next point, we need to take this 3 and put it over 1, telling us that from our y-intercept we go 3 up because this 3 is positive, and positive 1 on the bottom tells us to go 3 to the right. So from our y-intercept we go up 3, 1, 2, 3, right 1. And we can go up 3, right 1 as many times as we can, just as if we were graphing a linear function by itself. So from here, since we can't go up 3 and right 1 anymore, what we can do is go to the y-intercept and we'll flip this to the opposite. So instead of +3 over +1, we have -3 over -1, meaning -3 on top tells us to go down, -1 on the bottom tells us to go left. So from here we go down 3, 1, 2, 3, left 1. And here we have our first linear function, y equals 3x minus 3, graphed with our points. From here what we'll do is graph our second line, y equals 1/2 x plus 2, to find the solution. Now remember, in order to find the solution, what we want to do is find the point where these 2 lines cross, or where these 2 lines touch. It's only going to be one single point. So just like when we identified the points on the linear function above, what we'll do is identify these same points using the y-intercept and the slope on the one below. So our y-intercept for the function on the bottom here, y equals 1/2 x plus 2, the y-intercept is 0, 2, and our slope is 1/2. So this is the y-intercept, and this is the slope. So now the y-intercept 0, 2 will be here. So start at 0, 0, go up 2. It will be right here. And our slope is +1 over +2, which tells us to go 1 up, 2 right. So from our y-intercept, we go up 1, 2 right, up 1, 2 right. And notice we have this point right here where these 2 lines meet. This is actually our solution. So what we can do is find this point by starting at 0, 0 and going to the right 2. So that means we go in 2, and then from here we go up 1, 2, 3, and this will be 3. So our solution for this linear system would be 2, 3. So for this example, we'll be solving a linear system, y equals -x plus 5 and -2x plus y equals -4. First, we'll look at our purple function, y equals -x plus 5. Here we want to identify our y-intercept, which is +5. So our first point, 0, 5, we'll go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our slope is -1. And in order to make this a fraction, we put this over 1. And this tells us to go 1 down and 1 to the right, since this one is positive. If you are struggling with graphing linear functions, I'll leave a link to our other videos in the description below, where we actually go over how to graph linear functions in slope-intercept form. So from our y-intercept, we go 1 down, 1 right, 1 down, 1 right, 1 down, 1 right, as many times as we can. Since we can't go 1 down and 1 right anymore, what we can do is flip the slope. So instead of going 1 down and 1 right, we could change this -1 to a +1 on top, and this +1 on the bottom to a -1. And this +1 tells us to go up, the -1 tells us to go to the left. So we go back to our y-intercept, and we go up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1. And this is y equals -x plus 5 graph on the coordinate plane. So now what we'll do is we'll look at -2x plus y equals -4 on the coordinate plane. So I'll use red for this one. So notice that -2x plus y equals 4 is not in slope-intercept form. So now to get this in slope-intercept form, what we want to do is solve for y, meaning we want y on the side of the equal by itself. So we want to keep this y here, but we need to move everything else away from it, which means we need to move this -2x. So if this is -2x, the opposite of subtracting 2x would be adding 2x. So what we'll do is add 2x to both sides of this equal sign. Now on the left side, this cancels out. We bring down our y, and we have equal sign, and we have +2x minus 4. Now notice that we have this is now in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So now that we have this in slope-intercept form, we can graph this just like we graphed the purple function above. So now our slope would be 2. Put this over 1, and we have a +2, +1. This tells us we need to go 2 up and 1 to the right. But before that, we need this y-intercept, which is -4. So 0, -4, and this is where we'll start. So 0, -4 is 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. And our slope is 2 up, 1 right. So 2 up, 1 right. 2 up, 1 right. 2 up, 1 right. 2 up, 1 right. And notice that we have a common point right here. This would be our solution. So over here, our right, find the solution is 1, 2, 3. So we go to the left or the right 3, and we go up 2. So our solution would be the point 3, 2. You're looking at the system, -3x plus 5y equals -5, and y equals x plus 1. We'll begin with our purple function. With this one's not in slope-intercept form. Remember, when we're going to slope-intercept form, what we want to do is get y on the side by itself, meaning we need to move everything else away from it. First, we'll start with this -3x. So this -3x, so to get rid of this -3x, we're going to do the opposite of subtracting 3x, which is adding 3x. So now these 3x's cancel out on the left side of the equal sign. We can bring down our 5y. We have our equal sign, and -5 plus 3x, those are not like terms. So what we'll do is just bring down these terms and leave it like this. 3x. Write this a little bit neater. 3x Now that we have 5y equals 3x minus 5, we still need to get rid of this 5 from in front of this y. To get rid of this, 5 and y beside each other means we're multiplying. So the opposite of multiplying by 5 would be dividing by 5. Now when we divide by 5, we don't just divide the 3 by 5, we also divide this -5 by 5. So now we have 5y divided by 5 gives us y. 3x divided by 5 gives us 3 over 5x, since this doesn't come out as a whole number. And -5 divided by 5 gives you -1. So now we have our first linear function in slope-intercept form. From here, we can use our y-intercept, which is -1, and it will have it as the point. Use a different color so it won't be so jumbled together. This will be 0, -1. That'll be our first point, and it'll go here since this is our y-intercept. And our slope would be 3 over 5. So we have 3 over 5. They're both positive. Positive 3 tells us to go up on top. Positive 5 on the bottom tells us to go to the right. So from here, we go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, we can't go up 3 and right 5 anymore. So what we can do is take positive 3 over positive 5 and switch it to -3 over -5. So -3 tells us to go down. -5 on the bottom tells us to go to the left. So from here we go 3 down. 1, 2, 3. Left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we have our 3 points for this first linear function. Now we can graph the second one, y equals x plus 1. So from here, this one is already in slope-intercept form. So what we can do is just identify our y-intercept and our slope and find a point where these two lines cross, and we'll have our answer. So our y-intercept is 0, 1. This will be 0, +1 is here. And our y-intercept is 1, since there's a 1 in front of this x. And to make this a fraction, we put it over 1. So this tells us to go 1 up, 1 right. So from here we go 1 up, 1 right. Y-intercept go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. And notice that these points are going farther away from the red, so I'm pretty sure the answer is not going to be this way. So now what we can do is switch the slope from 1 up, 1 right to -1 over -1, which is -1 tells us to go down. -1 tells us also to go left on the bottom. So down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. And notice that these two lines have this point in common. So now this is our solution. From here, we just need to identify the point. So starting at 0, 0, we go to the left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we go to the left 5, which is negative, so that's -5. And then we also go 1, 2, 3, 4 down, which is -4. And this will be our solution: -5, -4. Thanks for watching our video. If this helps you out any, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you want to get more updates on when future content is coming out, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. If you have any suggestions or comments, don't forget to leave them in the comments below. Until next time, have a good one.